Hi there, everybody. Welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Eric Chilton alongside Lauren Coleman and Ben Briscoe.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 4 to 5 on Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFNY News 2 app.
We've got so much going on tonight. Obviously, there's some issues with the weather.
Yes.
We'll get to that in just a second. But first, we need to tell you about some breaking news just in. This is about the deadly crash during the Grandfather Mountain Highland Games. North Carolina Highway Patrol says a van crashed into a group of runners involved with the bear race near Highway 221. This was in Linville last night. We first told you about it on WFNY News 2 at 11. Well, now we've learned a triad woman, 72-year-old Julie Holderness, died. Several others were injured in this crash. Deputies say an 80-year-old man from Boone was driving the van when he hit the runners while trying to leave a parking spot. Charges are pending. The games were called off yesterday but went on today as planned.
Now to our other top story at 4. Greensboro woman is dead after getting attacked by dogs. Police say it happened yesterday morning around 2 o'clock on Vance Street. Trina Peed was watching 2 dogs when she let them out of the backyard of her home. That's when the dogs attacked her, alarming neighbors as she cried loudly for help. Someone called 911 and directed first responders to her home. Peed was taken to a hospital where she later died. Today we spoke to a man who lived across the street from her. He says Peed was always nice and helpful.
She was outgoing, very nice, jokeful, and that's about it. That covers all the good stuff. She was a great person.
Right now, Animal Control has 1 dog in quarantine. The other dog was shot in attempts to save Peed. No word if the owner will face charges.
You probably remember last month a little girl in Randleman was also attacked by a dog. A German Shepherd mix bit the 5-year-old child. Now the dog was on its leash when this happened. Family members of the victim were upset because the neighbor did not face charges. The Randolph County District Attorney says he did not pursue charges because the dog didn't have a history of attacks and the owner had no prior knowledge the animal was violent. Animal Control told us if the dog had not been on the leash, well then the owner could have faced a misdemeanor, but it was on the leash. Here's a reminder of Guilford County's dog attack policy. First, the animal is tested for rabies. Then officials investigate the dog's history and details about the attack. They'll use that information to determine the outcome. It could result in a fine or putting down the dog.
Right now, animal shelters across the Triad are strapped. Guilford County Animal Services says they're reaching a critical level amid a surrender surge. Director Jorge Ortega says money is a big reason why some are handing over their pets. But he also says some families are doing it just to go on vacation.
For that animal to come in or that pet to come into this environment, it is very stressful for them. And if we are crowded like we are today, it's going to take us a while, hopefully not, but it will take us a while to find a new home for that pet.
Next week, GCAS will participate in a nationwide Empty the Shelters event. They'll extend hours for adoptions. Dates and times will be posted online.
Temperatures today a lot better than this time yesterday, but a lot of that is because we're getting those showers moving through rather quickly. Cloud cover was a little bit heavier today than expected, so it kept some of the temperatures down to the low to mid 80s across our area, except you see Lexington made it up to 88. They have not seen the rain yet. High Point is just getting dumped on right now with rain. 82 degrees there, Greensboro 83, Mount Airy at 81. Dew points, obviously, when you get that kind of rain, you're going to be very humid, but they're in the 70s, which is that tropical air mass we talked about, that much moisture out there. All right, scattered showers and storms across the area. We are not seeing any warnings just yet, but we'll watch this to see if it develops. Here's that High Point cell we were talking about. You saw that camera at the beginning of the newscast. Strong showers, lightning strikes within that system as well. This from Summerfield north up Interstate 73 and heading along 220 there too if you're heading into Rockingham County. This is moving into the Reedsville area in the next 20 minutes or so. Conditions there will just gradually deteriorate. That one near High Point, this is from Groomtown down to Freeman Mill Road area. Archdale's in that as well. Thomasville on the edge of it. Lightning in that system, and that of course is drifting to the east. Most of this overall is moving south and east. So Seagrove and down 220 headed toward Troy and that neck of the woods, Star and Bisco, you're going to get some heavier showers and thunderstorms. Overall, when we look at the big picture, this is one line that will move through. We could see more as we head into the night. So forecast goes like this. Tomorrow, kind of a repeat of today, but a little cooler, 88 and 50% chance of rain. Sunday, drier and 82. Sunday, Monday, best 2 days. 84 on Monday. Rain chances pretty much out for Monday, Tuesday. We go back to the low 90s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and a normal 30 to 40% chance of a late day shower or storm for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Right now, we're in the frequent storm season, so you're going to want to keep our WFNY News 2 app closed. While you're out this weekend, we've got you covered with the latest weather updates and traffic alerts. Just download the app from either the Apple Store or Google Play. It's free.
Right now, the White House is ramping up its approach to protect abortion rights in the United States. Today, President Joe Biden signed an executive order expanding access to reproductive health care services. CBS News explains the move comes among growing pressure from the president's own party.
President Biden signed an executive order Friday as he sharply criticized last month's Supreme Court ruling that overturned 1973's Roe v. Wade decision that legalized abortion.
What we're witnessing wasn't a constitutional judgment. It was an exercise in raw political power.
The president directed Health and Human Services to protect access to abortion medication and to ensure emergency medical care for pregnant women and those experiencing pregnancy loss. The order also directs agencies to educate medical providers and insurers about how and when they're required to share privileged patient information with authorities. Abortion rights advocates fear that information could be used to prosecute women who have the procedure. And the president is asking the Federal Trade Commission to take steps to protect the privacy of those seeking reproductive care online. The president signed the order amid growing criticism from fellow Democrats that he wasn't responding forcefully enough. But the president said that his ability to protect abortion access is limited without congressional action.
The fastest way to restore Roe is to pass a national law codifying Roe. Go out and vote. Well, for God's sake, there's an election in November. Vote, 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 vote.
Since the court's ruling, at least 10 states have enacted a near total ban on abortion. Within months, the procedure could be illegal or severely restricted in nearly 24 states. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
Well, here in North Carolina, Governor Roy Cooper also signed an executive order aimed at protecting women who seek abortions in our state. Political experts say it's mostly a symbolic move. Cooper says right now our state is already seeing an influx of people looking for safe care. He says Planned Parenthood South Atlantic reported that 1/3 of their patients this week are from out of state. The governor is also directing state cabinet agencies not to cooperate with other states trying to prosecute people traveling to our state for an abortion. Right now, no such law bans traveling to another state to get an abortion. Keep in mind, right now, abortions remain legal in North Carolina up to the point of viability. This is the point in a pregnancy when the fetus might be able to survive outside of the womb. That's normally considered by doctors to be around 23 to 24 weeks of pregnancy. Republicans in the state house sent a letter to Attorney General Josh Stein pushing to reinstate a statewide ban on abortions after 20 weeks. A federal court struck down the law in 2019, citing Roe v. Wade. Stein responded to the letter saying that he would continue to protect women's reproductive rights under state law. State Senate Leader Phil Berger says state lawmakers will try to strengthen pro-life laws, but not until next year. We'll be right back. We've got some encouraging news for cash-strapped shoppers. After battling inflation for months, some folks are getting a major break while retailers take an unexpected approach. Experts are calling it the retail Armageddon.
It's just racks on racks on racks of clearance.
It's a big surprise for shoppers, burdened by rising prices.
Is this really $6.64 was $21?
Deep discounts across the country.
It's a retail Armageddon.
And retail consultant Bert Flickinger says that's good news for shoppers.
Biggest discounts, consumer electronics, sporting goods, on apparel, clothes, accessories.
Cargo that was stuck in a traffic jam at sea during the pandemic. Well, now those ships have come in at a time when inflation is forcing consumers to cut back.
Too many goods and too many stores chasing too few shoppers with too few dollars.
He says some stores are overstocked by more than 30%, and there's no place to put everything. Target recently admitted it needs to right-size its inventory, and the retailer's plans include additional markdowns. The extra goods often get sold to liquidators like Bargain Hunt, which sells items at up to 70% off retail. But this time, Norm Rankin is seeing something different.
The condition of the product, it's never left the case. It didn't make it to the stores. It's not dog-eared or wrinkled or ruffled having been on a shelf.
Every available space is filled with product.
The inventory overload is even hitting small business owners like toy seller Mariam Alamani.
Did you ever think you'd be in a position to understand what Target and Walmart are going through?
My first thought was, I'm glad I'm not them, right? But then all of a sudden I realized I am them.
But she's not having a fire sale just yet. Her suppliers keep raising prices, so she's trying to store extra toys until demand comes back.
So sitting on product that I purchased for 20% less is a better option than purchasing it for 20% more next month.
Experts say even bigger sales could be on the way after Labor Day. And here's something retailers don't want to advertise. With warehouses full, some are now refunding money to customers and telling them to just keep the item, saying they just don't have the space to store it. Well, thanks for giving me that tea, because I did not know that.
Now we know. Well, I mean, anytime, we'll benefit from this one way or the other.
Yeah.
When there's too much stuff out there, then they'll drop price to get rid of it.
You can start preparing for Christmas now.
That's right.
Did you see, like in the video, it was $89, now $27. That's a huge sale.
Also, when you go to like Walmart or Target, use their app and actually scan the price tag.
Okay.
Because sometimes that sale has already hit and they don't update it in the store yet, but it's there. And they'll match the price.
I need to do that because I haven't been doing too much shopping lately, just because everything's so expensive, gas, groceries, rent. So now that I've seen this, I definitely want to download the app and just browse around and see what I can find.
It does make me want to Christmas shop early, at least for my kids, especially when I saw all those toys there.
Do you do that anyway? We have like a Christmas drawer where we just kind of stock
Oh
things
my gosh,
away.
I wish. Lauren and I are both
I
bad
do
at
not
this.
do that. I'm pretty bad. I wait like a week. Unless I really know what somebody wants, I usually wait like a week before. It's even been as bad as a day before.
Well, I'll just tell you, as a parent, you can't do that with kids because every 3 months there's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to wait. So we'll see. I'm going there though, doing that, that's for sure.
Yep.
All right, we'll take a break. Be right back. Temperatures much better at this hour than we were yesterday at the same time, and that's because of all this. Scattered showers working their way through. Looks like at least the northern half of this line of showers is calming down a little bit, so just some rain. But it's heavy in spots. It really depends on where you're looking. Look at all the lightning with this particular cell. And this is from Archdale heading up toward, well, you can see it going along 73 there. Freeman Mill Road up to the Groomtown region. Jamestown getting rain as well. And it goes all the way back down to Thomasville with the heaviest rain, Archdale to Thomasville. All of that is drifting east and south. Same story with this particular cell. Summerfield getting a lot of rain right now, up Highway 220. So if you're heading north on Battleground up to the Summerfield area, you'll get a lot of rain there. And then this area too, between Madison and Eden and then Reedsville in that little triangle, we're seeing the heavier showers. Reedsville will get the brunt of that in the next 30 minutes or so. And then another line to the south, and this is headed down. You can see Troy, Star, Bisco getting ready to get some rain, Seagrove with light to moderate showers, and then Robbins if you're heading south and east going into Moore County, Carthage, getting some rain also. Bigger picture here, it is, you can see that drift down to the south and east, but there's more behind it. Some of that will get eaten up when it comes over the mountain chain, but really we have a chance of an isolated shower or a storm until late tonight. It'll be very similar to last night. So look for that between maybe 8 and 10 o'clock. We'll see some of this kind of trail off. This cold front is what we're waiting on, and we think that'll get here Saturday night, overnight into Sunday, and this is Sunday at about noon. Much better on the backside of that front, lower humidities and lower high temperatures. It looks really good. Here's our 7-day forecast with highs at 88 tomorrow. It's a 50-50 shot of late day storm Saturday. Reduced rain chances, 30% Sunday. I don't think we'll see a whole lot. A high of 82. Dry for the most part Monday and Tuesday. Those 2 days, 84 and 90. So Sunday, Monday, really nice. And then back to the normal summertime pattern, mid 80s to low 90s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Each afternoon and evening, a 30 to 40% chance of a storm.
Right now, we're in the frequent storm season, so you're going to want to stay up to date. Make sure you download our free WFMY News 2 app. It's free in the Apple Store and Google Play.
Good music is the kind of music that you can feel. It just speaks to your soul, doesn't it? Well, one gospel group known to set souls on fire has ties right here to our state. A new documentary entitled Stay Prayed Up follows Lena Mae Perry and the Branchettes' musical journey. They're from Newton Grove in North Carolina. And today, photojournalist Manning Frank spoke with the directors about why this group's story couldn't go unsung.
At 80 years old, and he brought me this far, I refuse to give up now.
We have a really special treat today. I am with one of the co-directors of Stay Prayed Up, Matt Durning. Matt, how are you doing here today?
I'm doing great, Manning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, Stay Prayed Up is a really cool documentary because not only is it set here in our state of North Carolina, but it really hones in on what I think is really cool, and that's finding a character and really honing in on them. How did you and your co-director, D.L. Anderson, find the Branchettes and Mother Perry?
We really found the story through our close friend and collaborator on the project, Phil Cook, who, once you've seen the film, you'll know who Phil is. He's another larger-than-life musician. Phil had been playing with Mother Perry for several years, had formed a close friendship, and knew they were getting toward the end of their career, and really wanted to help them record a live album before the band was done, and raise some money through the North Carolina Arts Council, and turned to us, his close friends and filmmaking collaborators, to come on to help him make the project.
As you started to make this documentary, how it pieced together, what was your process when you started to actually, from conception to actually finishing the product?
The project was just originally conceived of as a concert film. It was just show up with a great camera crew. That's where it started. And certainly we got lucky and we captured an amazing performance. But you know, the more time we spent with her over the course of that process, the more stories we heard from Phil, the more we just soaked up her energy and her aura ourselves, we realized that this is the kind of character, this is the kind of human that we all need in our lives, that we all have had at one point in our lives, a grandmother figure, someone who just makes us feel loved and reminds us of kind of the good and the best parts of humanity.
As a co-director, what do you hope that, I guess, people take away from this film?
There's so much, Manning, that we hope people take away, but really at the end of the day, it just comes down to treating other people decently and kind of believing in the good. We've have the fortunate experience of touring with the film back in September at the Telluride Film Festival, through New York City, here at home in Durham and Greensboro. But I think it's just helping people open their hearts back up in a way that we've, you know, as a society sort of closed down a bit over the past few years. And we just hope that in that way, the film reminds people to be open with their hearts.
So Matt, thank you again so much for your time today, and we look forward to seeing Stay Prayed Up digitally, wherever you can find it.
We listen to a lot of gospel in our house, so that definitely is going on the playlist. We're going to dive deeper into the story of the Branchettes when Manning returns with your weekly news to review. Stay tuned. That's coming up at 4:30.
Right now, summer is well underway and you're probably busier than ever. However, don't forget to stop and bask in your blessings. Here's WFNY News 2's Megan Malaris with some of your best moments.
Donna had lunch with all 4 of her grown children last week, and it was wonderful. Doris and Jean are thankful for the rain. Felicia got to spend 4th of July with friends she hadn't seen in 6 years. Marilyn celebrated the holiday with family with fireworks at the Grasshoppers game. Linda and her husband celebrated their 53rd wedding anniversary. Joanne celebrated her granddaughter's first birthday with a Peppa Pig party. Kathy got a hip replacement and can't wait to be a new person, no longer having hip pain. Joan had knee surgery last month and got her staples out. Marilyn's son blew his truck engine, but thanks to the warranty, there was no cost to fix it. And after a single vehicle crash and 206 days in the hospital and rehab, Teresa's 20-year-old grandson is finally coming home.
Hello, Facebook.
Hi, guys. Happy Friday, everyone.
That's right. My favorite redundant statement.
What is everyone doing for the weekend?
Lauren.
I think I'm going to go to a Grasshoppers game tomorrow.
Oh, fun.
Woohoo!
You've been to them before, though, right?
This will be my 3rd one.
Okay.
And the last one I went to was a doubleheader.
They're so much fun.
They are
They
fun.
really
It's
are
cool.
a great time.
You know, get you a hot dog, a nice cold drink, sit in the shade.
Those cool beer cups that fill up from the bottom.
Yes, and I got a T-shirt last time. Like
So
they
are you
threw them
gonna-
into the crowd.
Are you
and
going
I
to wear
got
the T-shirt this time?
No, I'm saving that to wear to bed probably because it's kind of like
A sleep
triple,
shirt.
Yeah, it's like a
Yep.
triple XL. So
That's literally what I was just talking to Ben about. I like baggy, like I can't stand anything tight when I'm trying to sleep.
oh
I
yeah,
like baggy
I'm
clothes.
a big T-shirt and a
Shorts,
pair of shorts.
yep,
I don't
exactly.
have. If I have any like fancy pajama sets, it was like a gift for Christmas or something from like Old Navy. But
Fancy pajama sets are only fun when you have friends staying
yeah,
like, for the weekend.
because I get hot. Like
Yeah, I do too.
I used to have
Or-
the silk pajamas, like when I was younger, but I get too hot. For
If
that.
we have a party and I'm ready for people to leave, I will put on my fancy pajamas.
That's true. I
I'll
have
just
done
like go
that.
upstairs and put them on.
I have done that before. Yeah, I have done that before, yes. You go change and come back out and act like everything's fine, but then they get the, okay, well, he's getting ready. We better take off.
At least most of the friends. Some of them want to stay.
My mom used to say, companies like leftovers after 3 days, kick them out.
I enjoy company. We have people over a lot.
Hi everybody, time to fire up the Facebook feeds. It's time for the 4 to 5, and if you're not a member of our exclusive Facebook group, what are you waiting on? It's easy. You just search the 4 to 5 Club. Click join group, and we are in there waiting for you. Happy Friday. It is Friday. I can take a deep breath now.
Don't take too
Collective
deep a
sigh.
breath though, because you'll get all that hot human air inside.
So true, so true. Welcome to the 4 to 5, folks. Welcome back, I should say, after halftime here, and we've got a lot to talk about weather-wise.
Lots to talk about. Remember, you can watch us on Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFNY News 2 app.
Right now, the winds are blowing in something. It's starting to pick up because earlier these flags weren't moving at all.
Yeah, so and that is a good sign that thunderstorms are moving by when we get those downdrafts out of those. Let's talk about our forecast as we head into the weekend. Everybody wants to know what's going on there, and we are looking at better temperatures today, courtesy of all the showers that we've had over the last little bit. 83 in Greensboro, 81 in High Point, Lexington 89, though. It's warm to the south. They're just now starting to get the showers to cool them off. Troy at 90, Pinehurst at 90, Burlington 87 degrees. All right, here are the showers across the region. It has died down a little bit if you look at the viewing area as a whole, but a couple of sites still seeing heavier lightning strikes. You can tell that they're really all over the place from Thomasville up through Archdale and heading north, just north of Pleasant Garden. All of that is some heavier showers. South of Thomasville there along 109, probably the heaviest rain that we've seen overall this afternoon, I would say. Summerfield had a dousing a little while ago, but that's moving east. So Scalesville Road and Whitty Cross Roads, if you're familiar with that area, you're going to see some showers there as well. Right along Highway 150 if you're heading east from Summerfield. And then this one to the north there in Rockingham County, Wentworth and Reedsville and Bethany and Harrison's Crossroads getting heavier showers. As we head into the night, this will be the rule, it looks like, overall. Look for scattered showers here or there. Overnight lows in the low 70s. We'll tell you about the rest of the weekend forecast coming back up in just a minute.
To download our free WFNY News 2 app as we head into the weekend while you're out and about. We've got you covered with the latest traffic updates. Just download the WFNY weather app. It's free in the Apple Store and Google Play.
Topping off your 4 to 5 roundup, a Greensboro woman is dead after getting attacked by dogs. Police say it happened yesterday morning around 2 o'clock on Vance Street. Trina Peed was watching two dogs when she let them out in the backyard of the home. That's when the dogs attacked her, alarming neighbors as she cried loudly for help. Someone called 911 and directed first responders right there. Peed was taken to the hospital where she later died. Right now, Animal Control has one dog in quarantine. The other dog was shot in an attempt to save the woman. No word on if the owner will face charges. Greensboro police say a man involved in a crash with one of their cruisers died from his injuries. Police say back in June, 85-year-old Billy Jarrett ran through a stop sign near West Market Street and Marshall Street. Police say Jarrett crossed into the officer's lane, causing a collision. Reportedly, the officer couldn't stop and knocked Jarrett's car into a nearby house. Jarrett spent more than a month in the hospital and died on Wednesday. Right now, this article is getting quite the clicks online. It's about 11 new bills recently signed by Governor Roy Cooper. While a lot of them are technical changes, here are some to note. House Bill 615, also known as Jordan's Law, was updated, which allows domestic violence protective orders to be renewed quicker. The governor also okayed House Bill 647, which requires DNA samples of people found not guilty of assault to enter the state database. The act also makes rape kits free for victims and allows more money for sexual assault programs. One bill not included in the governor's stack was $28 billion in the state budget. It included raises for teachers, money for the Greensboro Randolph megasite, and incentives to keep the ACC right here in North Carolina.
Roughly 47 million workers in the U.S. quit their jobs last year. Some health experts call the Great Resignation a mental health crisis. A recent study by JobSage found 1 in 4 adults quit a job due to their mental health. Mindy France is a mental health therapist with Navant Health. She says taking at least one mental health day a month can be good for your overall health.
A mental health day is a day someone would take to recharge and regroup, step away from work, step away from your responsibilities, those that can cause that significant strain and burnout. Do something that would allow you to recharge and get the necessary rest. The idea is that once you're recharged and regrouped, you can come back and be more successful in doing the things that you normally do on a daily basis.
France says a mental health day can look different for each individual person. It could be anything like shopping, hiking, or just shutting off mobile devices and taking quiet time for yourself.
I think it helps increase the quality of one's life. We often, feel like we just have to push through and keep pushing, and we're really being hard on our bodies. A lot of times we think about the physical effects of doing hard labor and don't necessarily think about the emotional and psychological effects of work and responsibilities.
If you can't take a full day to recharge, France says even taking an hour or two a week can be beneficial. So I asked you on my Facebook page, how often do you take a mental health day? Time for yourself. Angie Meek says, haven't had one, but I'm long overdue. Joe Nappy says, if I take off, it's usually related to aches and pains from work, not for mental health. Karen wrote, need one sitting by the lake with my picnic basket and no phone. Karen Ward says, retired, so I take a mental health day daily. Yeah. Deborah says, every 3 months on a Friday, so that's 3 days. Christian says, I quit my job March 3rd.
That would do it. That would do it. I always say taking a day off from work, it does not constitute a mental health day because you have to actually relax. Like taking it off and running errands and doing everything, like that's not a mental health day.
No, and a mental health day does not have to be a day off from work either. You can do it on your weekend. I mean, so many of us try to jam pack our weekend with friends and fun. But sometimes it's just nice to stay home and veg and watch TV.
That's what I do at least once a month. I call them do nothing days, where I literally stay in my pajamas all day, watch true crime, DoorDash food, and there's days where I don't even leave the house at all. And it's really just a good time just to, kind of just from the week that you just had.
That's right. I like a day off in the work week, but I do nothing, and then in the weekend, my weekends we're usually planned with the family. We're running all over the place, so I like to have a Friday once in a while.
Yes, I'd like to take some of my PTO days and just sprinkle them throughout the year. So I might have a 3-day weekend here, a 4-day weekend there, because it gives you something to look forward to.
It's just like when we break something at work and the IT person says, well, have you tried turning it off and back on? Same thing for your body, right? You just need to reboot.
I always feel like I could be that journalist that can take over the world. When I come back from a vacation, you really do need that recharge.
But I do like what you said. I like to have a Thursday, Friday here and there instead of a bunch of weeks. Do you do that, or do you like to take the big chunks?
I like both. I like my long times off where you totally get out of the zone, but you do have to have those days every so often.
Yeah, because you start to be like, oh, when is my next PTO day? Not for 3 months.
Right.
Like, that's a long time to look forward to something.
It'd be nice to have at least just one a month, you know, or something, or one every other month.
I really think companies should try to work in that direction. Like, you get a mental health day once a month, or maybe a couple half days or something.
Yeah, half day.
At least we're lucky enough to get that. I feel so bad for like all the small business owners that really don't get a day off.
Oh yeah, they don't get any vacation time.
I don't know how they do it.
Well, I have friends that do that too. They have a small or maybe even 2 small businesses, and it never stops for them. Never stops.
Yeah, mental health is real, folks.
Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break and unplug here. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
The stress of the pandemic impact people of all ages. Research shows mental health is declining as people struggle with long-term anxiety and depression. One organization in our community is combating these figures for free help with children in mind.
Yeah, suicide rates are definitely up. Domestic violence rates are up, substance abuse rates are up, and suicide in particular among our teens. 15 to 24-year-old range in particular is now the second leading cause of death in our country.
The Kellen Foundation has several free summer programs for teenagers, including the Artful Minds group, that's for ages 13 to 18, which promotes coping skills through art and conversations about personal wellness. And then there's also the Roots of Resilience support group for high school students ages 14 to 18. These peer groups give teens a safe place to talk about relationships, stress, and identity in a group setting. Not only are these services free, they're available during a time when the Kellen Foundation's founder, Dr. Kelly Graves, says mental health resources are in high demand and short-staffed.
Right now, one of the stressors is access to services. There's such high demand. There's wait lists for mental health services and even primary care services. There's such demand that it's created wait lists that people are having trouble getting into the services that they need.
So you can register your teenager now or call to find out more information. We put everything you need to know about these free resources on our website, WFNYnews2.com. One of the things I really like about this is that it's free. You know, a lot of people say, I can't get help, I can't go to therapy because I don't, you know, it costs too much money or that's for rich people. But there are resources out there just like this one. So that's another thing to add to the list.
It is already so expensive to be a parent. I don't know how you find the money.
Trust me.
To be able to have a free resource for your kids is huge.
Yeah.
And it's also, you know, there are things through the schools that you could do that a lot of people forget that that's out there, but this is an added level of that. And, you know, I've had some of my kids, we've done therapy together for different reasons, and it makes a huge difference. I say this for people like my age and older where they, you know, we grew up with the stigma and then now it's
just
not
dust
really
it off, just shake it off, you'll be okay.
You gotta let it go because I'm telling you it works.
My mom's a therapist. I've been in therapy since 4th grade on and off. And I will tell everyone, if you're having troubles, go to therapy. It helps you figure out what you really want.
But don't you think sometimes, even if you don't have an issue, you go because you discover things about yourself that you don't see?
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of my therapists, she said, you don't always have to be in a crisis when you come here. And sometimes you're just talking through things, and like you said, you'll start to discover other things or tap into things that you might have not even realized was a problem.
And it's not that they're trying to fix you, it's they're trying to make you the best you that you want to be.
Absolutely.
And when you discover, I mean, being self-aware is probably one of the hardest and one of the most valuable things you'll ever get. If you can get that, if you can get to that point that you can let go of your ego, let go of your pride, and see you for what you really are. And then you really get in there and fix things, and your life is so much better.
It makes you a better person, a better friend, a better lover, all the above.
I bet you did not expect to turn on your TV and hear us all give our therapy testimonies.
That's right. That's right.
But it works. Look, proof.
Yes.
It does.
So, if you are looking for more stuff to keep your kids occupied, that's free for them to do. How about the Wyndham Championship? They are asking for young people to volunteer this summer. Right now, organizers are looking for volunteers for the tournament on August 3rd. This year will be the first at Sedgefield Country Club with no COVID restrictions. Yeah, it's been a long time since they've been able to do that. Wyndham's executive director says there are available positions like gallery management and shot link. There's also some cool roles that can get you up close with the players.
And then we have standard bearers. A lot of kids do this, but anybody can do it, where you're basically carrying a sign that shows the players. You're inside the ropes, all 18 holes with the sign and the players. So you're walking with them basically off to the side, and you're keeping their score so that you can show everybody what their scores are.
The best part, it is very easy to train people. So volunteers, you don't even really have to know about sports. Those interested in signing up can find the registration link on WFNYnews2.com.
Temperatures are more tolerable today, that's for sure. That's an understatement. We are at 83 degrees in Greensboro, at least at the airport. 81 Winston-Salem and High Point and Asheboro. 76 in Reedsville, getting some rain up that way. Martinsville, the same situation at 77. And we've got 82 in Mount Airy with Wilkesboro at 84. All right, here's what the rain looks like now. Heaviest showers now moving into parts of Randolph County and southern Guilford County. So this is just to the south of Greensboro. We're getting the showers there. That's along 85 where that comes into play with 220. So Pleasant Garden getting some rain. Gets heavier as you head south, just to the south of Thomasville and heading back down south and west. We're seeing some heavier rains there along Highway 64. If you're traveling east on 64, you'll be heading toward Asheboro. Asheboro probably will get some heavier rains too in the next 30 to 45 minutes, we think. And from Wentworth over to Reedsville and Harrison's Crossroads, that area 158 there and down to, if you're heading down 158 to 29, you'll get some rain there along the Wentworth area. Looking at it in the big picture here, we had a couple of lines of these move through into a little bit of a lull here back behind, but we'll run the risk of an isolated, it may not be that widespread, but an isolated shower or storm late into the night. It may go as late as 8 to 10 o'clock tonight, so we'll keep you posted. We'll be right here. Hot and humid conditions continue on Saturday. Winds out of the south. This front is a game changer. Now that's Saturday evening and Saturday night. We'll get 50% chance of showers, but behind that, Sunday looks really nice. I'm going to drop the rain chances down to about a 20 to 30% chance, and highs go from 88 on Saturday to 82 on Sunday. Sunday, Monday, great days. Mostly dry Monday and 84. Dry on Tuesday, but warmer at 90. We'll go to 91 on Wednesday and the mid-80s Thursday, Friday of next week, but those afternoon storm chances, that's more normal for us, 30 to 40% chance for the second half of next week.
Right now, we're in the frequent storm season, so you're going to want to keep our WFNY News 2 app closed. While you're out and about this weekend, we've got you covered with the latest traffic updates and weather alerts. Just download the app from either the Apple Store or Google Play. It is free $99.
Earlier in the show, we spoke with the directors of the documentary Stay Prayed Up. The film focuses on the musical journey of Lena Mae Perry and the Branchettes of Newton Grove, North Carolina. Photojournalist Manning Franks tells you why you might want to add it to your weekend watch list in his latest Film Critic News to Review.
I'm going to let you in on a little behind the scenes. In news, just like in any other medium, when you tell a story, you must find a compelling character. That is the heart of a good story. It's people that have the story to tell. That rule is exemplified in the deliberate simplicity of the documentary Stay Prayed Up. This local doc is about a North Carolinian gospel vocalist, Ma Perry, and her Branchettes, in a celebration of a life that is sure to leave you with a fire in your heart and a song in your voice.
When the Lord say move, feel like some fire get under your foot. You just can't sit still. And it makes me feel like I take wings and fly.
In Newton Grove, North Carolina, at Long Branch Disciples of Christ, Lena Mae Perry and the gospel group known as the Branchettes are embarking on their first ever live album recording. Through archival footage, live performances, and first-hand accounts from individuals touched by the spirit of Ma Perry.
Somebody's in trouble, Lord.
Stay Prayed Up isn't just a behind-the-scenes look at the making of a gospel album. It's an examination of Perry's vibrant life and her legacy as ministry. Stay Prayed Up is a simple documentary that is as lean as it is earnest and fervent in wanting to share the story of the Branchettes. At barely over 1 hour, this is an unapologetic love letter to the subject of Ma Perry and to the genre of gospel music throughout North Carolina, filling every corner of the documentary with toe-tapping and soul-serving music. This film is structured to where the interspersing of the performances serves as a framing device to explore these characters in a really engaging way, only elevating the sweet story further. Speaking of the story, it's impossible to not fall in love with Ma Perry and her passionate desire to not only help others, but to spread the gospel through her music. Her genuine nature rubs off on you in a way that's infectious to your very soul. She walks out of the church walls and practices what she preaches. As an interviewee in the movie says, the church is in you. And Ma Perry is the embodiment of that. Sure, Stay Prayed Up is not a novel documentary by any means. It doesn't challenge a status quo, but like all good stories, it invites you to further look into the eyes of another. For that, I'm giving Stay Prayed Up a warm News 2 approved. This is currently available to be rented and bought digitally on Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV.
Oh, wow.
The church is in you.
Yes, I love that. That's something I would definitely love to check out. I love like documentaries because it always teaches me something new, and I wasn't familiar with her, so it would be something that new to learn.
I love, I just like church music when it's not, I like traditional hymns too, but whenever people get all pumped up and start doing gospel music in the church, that's right. That is the best.
And what is so great about this one is that it is never too late in life to reach your goals.
Not at all.
I mean, she's doing this at what, 82? Is that what he said?
Very impressive. I'd love to watch this just to hear the music. Like you said, I love gospel music. Grew up in the church, so I love that kind of singing.
I also like the roots of music too. When people talk about history of music and that type of thing, and gospel really is
the root of a lot.
That's what
even
I was about to
Elvis.
say.
I just went to see the Elvis
exactly
movie, and he talked about going into the Baptist churches.
It's
and
the
different
beginnings
things like
of
that.
a lot of like blues and rock and roll.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, look at Aretha Franklin, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to go any further for proof.
I remember watching one of my all-time favorite musical documentaries called Muscle Shoals, and they were talking to Aretha about her beginnings, and she did all gospel in the beginning.
She was in the gospel circuit.
Yep, and then she went another way. So check it out. Manny's a smart guy. We'll be right back. Has more details. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. After speaking to those who knew the woman and hearing that 911. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I am whispering. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey there, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check, check, check. Studio 2. Studio 2.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 4, 3.
Lauren Coleman, WFMY News 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, it's time for my 2 cents, and today we're talking heat. You know the old saying, it's not the heat, it's the humidity? Well, it's both right now. It stinks, doesn't it? I don't know about you. I hate hot weather, like really hot weather. Just dripping in sweat just to get to your car and get into your work building and then back in your car and then back to home. It's almost like you don't even want to go outside. Now, normal for us this time of year is around 88 or 89 degrees, but so far, we're only, 8 days into July, and we don't have the official high temperature for today, but for the first 7 days of July, we've been averaging 91 degrees, at least 2 to 3 degrees above normal already, and we still have a ways to go, don't we? Well, keep in mind that it seems like we've been getting hotter and hotter, doesn't it? I mean, global warming, whether you believe in it or not, it is something people talk about. And last year, in 2021, it was the hottest month globally ever recorded since records started being kept 142 years ago. That's for the entire Earth. So yeah, it's hot. We hope we don't top that this year. I really don't. So when you're getting irritable and you start arguing with people because you're hot and your family and all that, you don't want to go outside. Just remember one thing. I was looking at the numbers, and from an average standpoint, in a week and a half, we'll start to see our averages go down, little bits at a time each day. So we're starting to round the corner. Hang in there, a week and a half, and we'll watch those averages start to drop. And relief is on the way. Thank goodness, because I don't know about you, I'm tired of being hot. Of course, in January, we might pay for a 90-degree day, but that's a long way off. That's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
We're seeing about an increase of 200 animals per week that are intaked into our facility.
Triad shelters are getting full. How you can help. After a rocky start to the pool season due to a lifeguard shortage, we check in with how things are going a month in. Plus, evening storms are starting to roll through the Triad. How long it's supposed to last. New details